The mainstream media is not telling you the truth. They have their own agenda. At GJRB, I have mine, telling you what's really going on with sources like End Time Headlines, InfoWars, Coast to Coast AM, and most importantly, CBN News, keeping you on top of what's happening at the top and bottom of each hour during the Gary Russen program. I'll give you the news and analysis of what I think with Gary J's News and Comment. Get the real news, true news, news that's not in the mainstream on GJRB. It was the year World War II ended, and the troops came home, and the music was fabulous, with big hits from Perry Como, Judy Garland, and the Andrews Sisters. The year was 1945. Listen to the year in music on the next Swing Time. I'm Gary Russen, and I'll be featuring the biggest hits from that year, along with trivial information about the prices of items such as groceries, the news events, the culture of 1945 on the next Swing Time. After 1 year, the wait is over. Now join Pastor Ron Johnston and a panel of men and women to discuss the news and how it lines up with Bible prophecy. In this world of chaos and upheaval, this is the program that puts it all into perspective. How will we survive? God only knows. So trust Him and listen to the last 7 days. Uploaded as a podcast or live every third Friday at 12 o'clock noon Central on GJRB Online. It's that time of year once again, spring. A time when the weather gets warm and the flowers bloom, and GJRB is starting new programs and bringing back older ones that haven't been on for a while. It's the GJRB Spring Spectacular. All new programs and old ones returning, like Radioland, Gary J's Radio and Television Classics under a new name, Radio, Television, and Movie Classics, featuring not just radio and television broadcast rarities, but also intermissions from drive-in movie theaters and indoor theaters too, old movie trailers, and movie trivia. The Spring Spectacular will also mean the return of the blues with Gary J's Blues House and country bluegrass with Bluegrass Jubilee. New additions to the Gary Russen program, including The Man on the Street, as I take my voice recorder to the streets of Clinton and ask people their opinions on what's going on in the news and lighter fun stuff. GJRB Spring Spectacular starts in April on GJRB. Now, a memorable moment from a past Gary Russen program. I don't know. Let me see. I cannot find it. Here it is. Here we go. Scotty Moore. Scotty Moore. The legendary guitarist for Elvis Presley. He was a guitarist for Elvis Presley from 1954. He played classics, a lot of his classics like That's All Right, Good Rockin' Tonight, Milk Cow Blues, Baby Let's Play House, Heartbreak Hotel, Mystery Train, Blue Suede Shoes, all those, Hound Dog, Too Much, Jailhouse Rock. He played them all. Scotty Moore. He was in 4 Elvis Presley movies, including Jailhouse Rock, King Creole, and G.I. Blues. He also played in 1960. He took a job in the production manager for Sam Phillips on Sun Records. And continued to work with Elvis on songs like Good Luck Charm and Devil in Disguise and the Bossa Nova Baby. And then later on, he was fired at Sun Records. Yep, Phillips fired him in 1964, but he continued recording with Elvis with a guitar and changed the world. And also reunited Elvis in the 1968 television special. He was part of that. He was part of that 1968 television special, which was the Elvis Presley comeback special. I remember that. That was my early years when I wanted to be a DJ. I used to see all the DJs on TV, and I thought it was a great job to do that. Yeah, it was, I remember this really well. As a matter of fact, Scotty Moore, well, that's a shame. Anyway, Scotty Moore played his last show in 2007 at the Peabody Hotel in Memphis. Scotty Moore died at the age of 84 in Tennessee. So we bid farewell to another great talented man in the nation. It's a shame. Scotty Moore died. I don't know. It's a shame.
Off. Use the offer code SAFETY and save an additional 15% off. Find your fear set Tiger Lady.
Calling 338-524-TOM. That's 833-852-4866.
She was 21 when I left Galveston. Galveston, oh Galveston. I still hear your city waves breaking.
His music was tremendous.
While I watch the cannons flashing, I clean my gun.
That was when music was music, folks. Tell you what, Glenn Campbell and Galveston as we get back on the air. Welcome back to the Gary Russen program on GJRB online on Spreaker. And welcome back with 45 minutes of non-stop music, non-stop talk. Music? No. 45 minutes of non-stop talk. That means we go into the next part and we go commercial free. No breaks whatsoever now. We're just going to be talking it all the way through as we get into the third part on our Freestyle Friday edition of the Gary Russen program. We're going to be spreading this around on all social sites right now. And we're going to go now to my Spreaker public site because that's where I want to go at this point. And see what we could do there. I want to go here into my Spreaker public site and see what I got in listenership. And I'm looking at the past 3 parts of the program. And all I see is one big fat goose egg, folks. Through part 1, 2, and 3. Nobody here. Just a void. Nothing there. Nobody out there. Could it be? I don't know. Just don't know. Seems like we have dead audience, folks. Dead as they come. Dead on arrival. Past 3 parts, nobody here. And we're live doing it. The Gary Russen program on GJRB on Live on Spreaker. We're going to do something about that because I'm going to spread this program around and get some audience participation here somewhere along the line. Maybe get somebody in there. I'm going to go and visit now. I'm going to be doing another social sites. I'm going to be going on to another social site and see who's out there. I'm going to go into my Twitter. So I want to go ahead and go flip over to that and visit my Twitter feed. I'm going to go to that. I have to sign in. That's going to do that right now. Okay, and see if there's anybody out there on Twitter land listening to the program. I'm going to check on, see what's going on Twitter and see what news we have on here. Okay, because a lot of times there I get a lot of news off this feed. That's for sure. Here's our part 2, which we just got done with, as we headed into part 3. Part 2, and I'm going to go down down my Twitter page. But while I do that, from the Huffington Post, from Charleston to Charlottesville, the symptoms and causes of the modern white supremacy. A story there. Microsoft to power Baidu's self-driving project outside China. Let's see. Traffic alert in Pittsburgh. What's going on there? A section of Grand Street will be reopened this afternoon after being closed for about 2 weeks. Okay, let's see what else is down here. Let's see. Here's another interesting story. This comes out of CBS News. Those poorly produced videos on your Facebook feeds are getting cut off. Poorly produced Facebook videos. Okay, what we got here? Okay. Alright, something about, I like that one. Okay, let's see, that was down the Twitter page. Let's go down further. Let's see. A lot of Pittsburgh ones here. And here we are. We are now in part 3 of the Gary Russen program. We're on the air live right now. This is, I'm looking at it right now. When you get into the Spreaker and the Twitter site, GJRB Online's Twitter site, you'll see our program there, the Gary Russen program, 081817 part 3. And you can listen to it right here on Twitter. So if you're on Twitter, you can listen to the program live on Twitter, and you can participate in the show. So there it is. We're on live right now on Twitter. So if you're on Twitter right now and you want to listen, come on aboard. We have another interesting one here. A man inches from death. I'm looking at a video of a man who actually, oh my goodness, where was this at? This is at dailymail.com. Not sure exactly what that is there, but according to the video, it shows it's a bike, and a car goes up on the sidewalk and knocks him. It looks like the bike is some kind of a car. It looks like it belongs to a homeless person. And I'm not sure exactly. That's an interesting piece there. I'm going to go down the ways now and see what else I can find. The Huffington Post, clever way a high school boys protesting their school's sexist dress code. Guy dressed in a dress. Yeah, of course. Gotta have radicals everywhere. Scientists discover buffaloes covered in frogs in bizarre behavior that could be a new type of relationship. No, please, don't tell me that. They can't do that. Oh, no. That's strange. Okay, that is real. Yeah, I agree with that one. That's just strange, folks. Okay, Underweather Nation, rain in a good thing because it's too much of a good thing. NOAA launches atmospheric river project in San Francisco. That's interesting. I want to go down the page of what CBS News. Charlottesville Mayor Mike Seiner calls for a swift removal of Robert E. Lee's statue. So Charlottesville is going to take down their Robert E. Lee statue. Like I said before, why don't they just put this in some kind of a museum? You know, where if people want to really, really appreciate the history, and the history buffs can go there and look at it without offending people. I think that would be a good idea. What do you think about that? Give me a call. Area code 563-613-4260. Or if you want to chat with me in the chat room, just go into the Spreaker Public site or on Twitter and go into the chat room, and we'll talk to you live. And you can be a part of the program. And, we're always glad that you can be a part of the show. I'm going to go now into my Google Plus now. We're going to go and visit Google Plus. I want to see if maybe there's something there. And then we're going to take this show over and put it on Pinterest in the past 3 episodes. So that maybe we can get some reaction here. Let's see. I'm going to go to my Google Plus. Let me me see here. Find out what's going on. Okay, I'm going to now go back into my Spreaker public site here. I'm going to go into the page, open up the episode page, and now, okay. And there in the chat room, and you can visit there and put your name in there, and we'll see to put you on the air. Love to hear from you. You can even call the program. Love to hear from you. But there's where you can do that. Now I'm going to take this and put it in my Google Plus so that we can get some listenership there. And I'm going to go into the other parts, including the one we're doing live right now, mainly. Okay, I'm going to post it there. Okay, and then we're going to, okay, let me see here. Load this back up. I'm going to, okay, see if I can put this in the Pinterest page. That's what I'm trying to do here. Come on, be part of the show. Program. Okay, so I repost that. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and put this on Pinterest. Gonna throw this into the Pinterest page. Try that again. There we go. Kind of went in and went out. Okay, GJRB Internet Radio. Okay, so I am now posted it on my Pinterest page, and I'll put the previous episodes up throughout the afternoon. So we are now on Pinterest. We're on Google Plus and on Facebook, and also we're live on YouTube as well. YouTube, if you missed the program, you can go over to YouTube and pick it up there. So there you go. You're listening to, and this we're into 45 to 50 plus minutes of nonstop talk on the Gary Russen program. We are back on Facebook, and here's an interesting. Al Sharpton. Here's another guy. He says that Jefferson Memorial shouldn't be funded by taxpayers. He said that the slippery slope is that we're on the Judge Napolitano warrant. We were that Judge Napolitano warned that is getting more slippery by the hour, and it would seem. And it calls for the removal of the Confederate, and this is all over this Confederacy, you know. Al Sharpton on the American Patriot talking about this now. A very slippery slope on the Judge Napolitano show. I didn't pronounce that right. And he's talking about this, that the Jefferson Memorial should not be funded by taxpayers. Yeah, how about this? Okay, this is from actually, yeah, this is from the Charlie Rose program. Check this out.
Jefferson had
Charlie
slaves.
Rose.
He mentioned Thomas Jefferson. He wrote a biography of Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson had slaves.
Yeah, I read it. Had slaves and children with the slaves.
Exactly.
And it does
So
matter.
therefore, should they take down the
I
Jefferson
think
Memorial?
that people need to understand when people that were enslaved and robbed of even the right to marry and had forced sex with their slave masters. This is personal to us. My great-grandfather was a slave in South Carolina owned by the family that ended up, Strom Thurmond was one of them. A newspaper discovered it. So this is personal. This is not some kind of removed discussion from us. Our families were victims of this. Certainly they ought to be removed.
Therefore, everybody associated with slavery in terms of any public monument to them.
When you look at the fact that public monuments are supported by public funds, you're asking me to subsidize the insult of my
Thomas
family.
Jefferson had slaves.
And I would repeat that the public should not be paying to uphold somebody who has had that kind of background.
Yeah. So that's what it is. The taxpayers are paying for the Jefferson Memorial. Piece of history, folks. Piece of history. And I guess what he's saying there is that that Thomas Jefferson was a slaveholder. Does this mean that the monuments of the great nation would be removed, abandoned, or even destroyed? Sharpton isn't alone here. Guests at CNN calling for Jefferson and Washington's status in the monument to come down. It would tear the monument down. And I mentioned before about Mount Rushmore. As you would expect, some of these are calling for that to go down. They want to get rid of Mount Rushmore. The left is on a roll now. They want to continue to destroy American history. And so it appears people on the right are afraid to fight back. Is it safe to assume then that you don't want to be labeled a racist? But from what is being said on TV and social media, people on the right already are racist. So you have nothing to lose in this. Okay. Left wing, whatever the case, which I can consider myself to be. I'm not left wing. I'm not right wing. I'm really in the middle. But see, preserving history now. If you want to preserve history, if you want to look at and preserve history, you're considered a racist. It kind of puts me in mind of, let's say, the comedian who always says, you're a redneck. If you support history, if you support history, you're a racist. So I guess that means that maybe we should just not have history classes in our schools now. Maybe that's next. Maybe they're going to pull out all the history classes because, we can't learn about all these guys because, see, they're all racist. So we can't, have a little education here. Because, it would be racist if we love history. See, this is the leftist saying that let's live for now. Don't go back in time. Don't remember things. Because me. I'm a nostalgia maniac. I play old radio shows like, wait a minute. Remember a radio show called Amos and Andy? That was an old program that was considered controversial for its time. Amos and Andy, old radio program. I think they did movies too. So see, what's going to happen down the line is that we, let's not preserve history. God forbid. We can't have that. We can't preserve history. Really? We might offend some people. We can't preserve history. It offends people. You can't go back and look at some of the fabulous times we had in America because we might offend somebody. Isn't this ridiculous? Can't learn history? The very history that we learned in school? This is what it's getting to? Isn't this kind of totally ridiculous? Well, you know, folks, I am no racist, okay? I am not a racist by any stretch of the imagination. You know, I'm not. I believe in equality. I believe that we're all here together and that we are, we're all in God's eyes equal to each other. I just don't think that erasing history is going to make it go away. Okay? Really don't think so. Erasing history isn't gonna make it go away. Not by a long shot. I mean, you can't dump history just because you don't like a piece of it. Yeah, slavery was not good. A lot of bad things happened, I guess, in slavery. It's not good. But do we have to sit there and demolish all of it? Is it really right to do that? I don't think so. I don't think it's right to demolish history over, this. I mean, you can't erase history. Take away the monuments, that's fine. I have never been at Mount Rushmore. I've been in Gettysburg. Absolutely fabulous city to go see if you ever get a chance. I mean, that is chock full of history. I just wonder. They're saying that the Gettysburg monuments are safe, but for how long? How long are they safe to? I wonder. I mean, seriously do. I just wonder. Because how much history are you going to take away? I mean, you're going to take away everything that has to do with history because of this whole slavery thing. Isn't it getting outright ridiculous? Really? We're going to do that just because we're going to cave in to the leftist liberal agenda created by your lovable George Soros? I'm not going to cave in. Not by a long shot. Yeah, I'm against slavery. I'm against what they did to the blacks was not right. But in turn, erasing history isn't going to take it away. Taking away the monuments is not going to take it away. It's just a grim reminder, yes. But you're not going to change history by doing that. You're not going to make that history go out of existence just because you destroyed a few statues. It's not going to do it. So think about that. Taxpayers' money being wasted on what? The Jefferson Memorial? Come on. Outright ridiculous. Really is. Coming close to 4 o'clock at GJRB online on Spreaker across America. Gary J. Russen with you. Hope you're enjoying the afternoon. 4 o'clock.
From America's heartland, this is GJRB, Clinton, Iowa.
It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Central Time, 5 o'clock East, 2 o'clock Pacific, 3 o'clock in the mountains. I'm Gary J. Russen. Good afternoon. It's 4 o'clock, and you're listening to the Gary Russen program on Freestyle Friday on GJRB online on Spreaker. And welcome to the, we're in the midst of well over 45 to 50 minutes plus of non-stopped talk. So you're welcome to join in the program. And I'm going to see now if any of my distribution has done anything to this program's listening anywhere. Already I got this on Twitter. I have it on all the social sites that I run to. And right now I'm going to see later on. I started an Instagram account, but I'm not guaranteed that this program could ever be on Instagram. I'd like to see it on Instagram for some more listeners, but at this point I don't know if I'll get listeners from Instagram. I've already put it on this program. The current one that you're listening to right now is now available on GJRB Online on the Gary Russen Pinterest page. So you can go there and listen to this program or catch it. I'll have the rest of the podcast up later. I'm going to make those public later so that you can listen to them there. And we might even expand the program a little bit. I'm thinking about doing that today, just to see if maybe perhaps we can get some audience. That's what I'm looking for. So you never know. We might go to 6, maybe 5:30. We're going to see what happens here. I'm just trying to see if I can push for listeners live on the air, get some responses. And so far, I'm looking at my site, my public site right now, and we're at one fat goose egg all the way through the first 3 parts of this show. One big fat goose egg. I'm talking to nothing. It's like being on Talk FM 108, my 9-foot closed circuit FM signal, and doing this talk show, because no one is listening at this time. New one. It's just something else. But I keep going. I keep persisting. They tell you about persistence, right? If you keep on persisting. You know, the other night, my wife and I were watching, I finally watched Founder. It's a movie about the guy who created the franchise of the McDonald's. And he started at a very low end of a totem pole. He was a distribution, I think he was selling ice cream equipment. Door to door. Kind of like ice cream makers, I guess. Anyway, come across, he was traveling across the country. That was his job, I guess. He was traveling all over the United States, selling this thing. He was a door-to-door salesman. He was driving all over the country. He went on around all the way down Route 66, which in those days was the big thoroughfare from Chicago to California. And he landed in San Bernardino. He come across a stand called McDonald's. And he saw how they made the hamburgers. Saw how he created the hamburgers. Incredible film. If you get a chance to watch this movie, it's incredible. Absolutely fabulous film. Show how they created fast food. Outstanding film. I recommend you watch it. It's got some really not too many nice words. I mean, the kids can watch it, but it's got some cuss words in it. But it's an amazing movie. It really is. Amazing movie. Can't remember the actor's name now. Excuse me. Michael Keaton. Yeah, that's what it was. Michael Keaton played the founder, Ray Kroc, who created the McDonald's franchise. And the whole story just rounded up with these guys who were McDonald's. The last name were McDonald. And there were 2 men who started the stand. And I don't know. He was an amazing man, this guy was. But I think that I have this feeling he kind of exploited these guys or something. He stole their idea or something. went in and he made a franchise of a multi-million-dollar franchise, and gave him a stock in the company. But you have to wonder about it, though. He was, it was a great movie. If you get a chance to watch it, please do. It's on Netflix. It's called Founder. Check it out. It's a great film. All right, 4:05 Central Time, the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online on Freestyle Friday. Got 9 minutes and 30 seconds left in our non-stop talk. A little over that. So what I thought I'd do is read some more stuff, get some more stories in here. I'm going to kind of get away from the racist story for a while. I'm going to try to do something just a little different away from things for a while, because it's getting kind of old. And I think maybe what we need to do is do something we didn't do yet in that sports page. And we're well overdue for another weather forecast for Weather on the 5. So we're going to do that about 25 after 4 in our next part. Within our final part, we'll do a sports page. Okay? And I believe, though, that if I'm looking at it, the Cubs are in the bottom of the 8th inning right now, and they are beating Toronto 5-4. 5-4. How about that? Yeah. So, I don't know. I got to check the standings with the Cubs. By the way, speaking of sports page, the Gary J Sports page, which was scheduled for tomorrow, will not be heard. The local side here on 9 Foot Signal is going to be doing a Cubs baseball game, so I'm going to pull the Gary J Sports page for now. But the Gary J Sports page will be back on the air in September, and we're going to be doing a lot of football. Talking a lot of football. There's been some preseason action going on. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go into my Yahoo. As a matter of fact, let's just go in here. Pull that up now, Yahoo. And get ready for Yahoo Sports. So I'm going to go into that. And look at the scores for now. Let's take a look at those. And do a bit with the scores. And I'm going to, let's see, I wanted to see here if I can get into the scores. Let's see, MLB, that. Okay, I want to just do this. Why don't we start thinking about doing sports page here real quick. I just don't remember printing that sports page up, so I'm going to kind of go in there and just do it. And we'll have a sports page coming up real soon. But, so we'll do that in the next segment. Okay, we'll have sports page coming up within the next segment. We got 6 minutes and 34 seconds left in this segment. The Philadelphia Eagles' Malcolm Jenkins is offering his own statement during a pregame playing of the national anthem and raising his fist in protest for racial injustice. Teammate Chris Long joined Jenkins in Thursday night, placing his hand on Jenkins' shoulder, and it was a small gesture movement that could have significant impact on ongoing athlete debate. Why? Well, very simple. Like Colin Kaepernick and most, if not all, anthem protesters in the NFL to date is black and Long is white. So Long is protesting for his black buddies. Graduate of the University of Virginia, considers Charlottesville his home, stated that I think it's a good time for people to look at like me and to be like for people to like me and here for people for fighting for equality. And it's been a long, hard week for everybody. And he says, quote, and he continues, I think it's not just a hard week for someone being from Charlottesville. It's a tough week for America. I've heard a lot of people say, and you need white athletes to get involved in the anthem protest. He said before, never kneel. He said before that, I'll never kneel for the national anthem because the flag means something different for everybody in this country, but I support my peers, unquote. And coming up, some of the other news headlines. Colin Kaepernick is going to get an exhibit in the National African American History and Culture, along with his jersey. So it's all coming up on Sports Page, coming up here in the next half hour or so. Sports Page update coming up. We'll talk a lot about some of the other stuff too. So we'll talk about some sports. Meanwhile, some of the games getting played tonight in the NFL. Minnesota is going to play Seattle. In baseball, the Chicago Cubs are now winning over Toronto 7-4 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Yeah, Cubs in the lead. Yeah. As a matter of fact, let's see here. Jason Hayward reached the infield single, and Ben Zobrist scored, and with Victor Caratini to third. That was a 1-1 score. But later on, Jason Hayward reached. Then later on, Javier Baez singled to right, and Victor Caratini scored, and Jason to second. That made it 2-1. Albert Almora Jr. singled to right center. Jason Hayward scored. Javier Baez to third, and Baez out advanced to throw 3-1. So the Cubs are like really fired up, man. They're fired up here. Wow, check it out. Anthony Rizzo singled to left. Almora Jr. and to center, left center, and Almora Jr. and Chris Bryant scored. That made it 5-1. Kevin Pillier doubled to left. Steve Pierce scored, and Miguel Montero, who's back, he went to third. Yeah, Montero is back. I'm glad to see that. Montero's a good player. I like him. I'm glad he's back. Ryan Goins singled to right. Miguel Montero and Kevin Pillar scored both, 5-4. And now Javier Baez homered to 389 feet. Yeah, Baez score home run. Baez, yeah. And Jason Hayward scored, and that makes the Cubs ahead 7-4 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Right. Let's see. I want to check the standings while I'm here before I close out this part, because I'm going to be taking a break here in a few minutes. I want to get the standings here real quick. Let's see. There, I'm going to go down to where the standings are. I wanted to see something here real quick. And let me see. Where the heck is the standings? I always lose those every time I come in here. Where the heck? Okay, maybe they're not on here today. Okay, well, I might have to check here and see if I can find it. Should be here, but I'm not finding it. Okay. Well, if I can't find it, I'll take a look at the standings later, but looking at it, Cubs are doing real good today. Fabulous. Gotta say, outstanding, marvelous, and fantabulous. Wonderful. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to be taking a break right now. I'm going to that's the end of our 45 minutes plus of nonstop talk here on GJRB Online. We'll talk a little bit more, though. We got some more time. Let's see here. I'm going to take a break and be right back. And we'll have more talk here for you. The Gary Russen program here on GJRB. Hope you enjoy the program. Freestyle Friday edition. The end of the week show is always freestyle. That means all things go. The sky's the limit. We'll be right back with more of the Gary Russen program after this break. Hang in there. Got more to go.